Really good Wildcard Weekend. A lot of exciting games besides that Sunday night stinker between the Chargers. I totally blanking on who they played. Chargers
Patriots.
and the Patriots. Thank you. Stinker of a game there, but pretty much every other game was extremely entertaining. It felt like a lot of game-winning drives, a lot of potential game-winning drives. So it's overall really exciting watching the Wild Card Weekend. Looking forward to this game. For me, I had a pretty good betting weekend. I know I hit a couple decent player props like I always seem to do. Hit a couple live bets, which I don't normally do. But for example, I hit the Bills live when they were down on the game-winning drive. Hit the Bears live when they were down in the fourth quarter. Hit the Niners pregame on the money line. So it was a pretty good betting weekend for me. Hopefully, I can round off a solid weekend of betting with this Monday night game between the Texans. Wow, I completely have this graphic wrong. Between the Texans and the Steelers. But we do have, like I said, the one game tonight, not really anything in college basketball. Ethan, I don't know if you want to touch on NBA or NHL at all, but we can if that's something you want to do. But basically, this is for me and Ethan hopping on here, giving you guys our bets for the game, our predictions for the game. We kind of talk each other on and off of bets. So let us know in the comments if you guys like anything in this game and where you guys' heads at in this game. But Ethan, how was your weekend? I'm quickly redoing this graph. I have the Houston, Texas against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That is just a city. So that doesn't do much. So I'm fixing that real quick. But Ethan, how was your weekend? And how are you feeling about Monday night's game?
Yeah, we kind of talked before we got on here, but couldn't have been more right on yesterday's slate. We went live yesterday. Gave out San Francisco outright. I had to wear the San Fran sweatshirt because that was great for futures. But unfortunately, I did not have the balls to go bet money line. I didn't have the balls to take the points, so was disappointed there. I like the Bills, didn't bet them. I like the Patriots, didn't bet them either. So didn't win, didn't lose. I didn't bet anything yesterday in any sport, so it was just kind of it was frustrating because everything was winning. Hockey, I would have won. Basketball, I would have won. Illinois gets there that we both talked about and liked in college basketball. But have days like that, and every NFL play that won was extremely public. So, it's very rare where I'm going to have days where I line up completely on the public and they're going to go 3-0. So can't really kick myself too much. Don't really love this game tonight. I might just have a small play on it just to see if I can end Wildcard Weekend with a win and kind of give myself some confidence going into divisional, because as of now, I'm just 0-1 with the Packers, which obviously leaves a sting in my mouth. I can quick touch on 4 NHL games. I'm just going to have to look into them just super quick, but I really just like to see where the market has moved them and see if anything sticks out, so it takes not long at all. NBA, I did put out a video a few hours ago on our YouTube channel breaking down 3 of my best bets for the NBA. So won't even touch on NBA, but if people are interested, it is up on YouTube right now. And first game tips off at 7:30 for that.
Yeah, Ethan's been doing his daily NBA videos, like you said, over on our YouTube channel. Those are really quick, 5 to 10 minute videos, giving out bets. Usually, a couple times a week. So make sure you guys do check that out if you guys do want NBA predictions. Again, that is available over on the YouTube page. But yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll give you a little bit of time here. I haven't looked into the NHL. Basically, just betting this wild card game for me. But yeah, what are you liking in the NHL? I'm seeing first games are facing off here in about half hour. 25 minutes.
Yeah, so for these 7 o'clock games, just based on initial looks of market move, the only one that has potential for me to be on would be the Seattle Kraken money line, plus 115. Maybe I haven't been betting. I usually am betting the reverse line movement, but I have noticed that a lot of these lines that move with the market have also been cashing as well. If you're interested on that, Buffalo could be a play. That's only the 4 games at 7 that I looked at. It's a pretty big slate, and I only checked one site. I do have to kind of cross examine and get full info, but definitely, we'll keep this one pretty short tonight. And before 7, I will definitely look at the Kraken a little bit deeper.
Yeah, make sure you guys do follow Ethan over on Twitter. He does a really good job at posting majority of his plays. I'm pretty bad at it. I just post my plays over on Pickett, the little sports betting site that tracks all your plays. You don't have to do anything, just tracks them. So that's where my plays will be. Ethan, like he says, has a couple leads in the NHL that he most likely will tweet out before these games start. But let's get into this Monday night game in the NFL. We have the Texans, like I said, at the Steelers. I believe the Texans are a 3-point favorite. This line's kind of moving a little bit between 3 and 3.5. Let me quickly check DraftKings. Yep, Texans are still -3 at the -105. Over under has not budged at all, sitting at 38.5. I do have a couple bets, a lot of bets actually, mostly player props in this game. I do have a prediction on the game spread as well as the over under. But Ethan, I'll send it to you first. I think we're going to disagree a little bit on this game. What do you like, Texans Steelers?
Yeah, so the issue I'm having here is my head is telling me Texans and under. My gut is telling me Steelers and over. So pretty tough to figure out where I'm going to end up in this game if I end up anywhere at all. But we were just going through the Texans schedule. I feel like this team is flying completely under the radar, but their resume is incredibly impressive. Their 5 losses are four playoff teams, 3 of which on the road, at Rams, at Jags, at Seahawks. Lost a home game to the Broncos, obviously the 1 seed, and then lost by 1 point to the Buccaneers that, were a game away from being in the playoffs. So their losses are all against fine teams. They have road wins against Baltimore, which I know they were down this year, and it was without Lamar, but blew out Baltimore in that game. Road win against the Chiefs, swept the Colts, although that was kind of during the Colts downslide, but beat the Bills, beat the Jags, beat the Chargers on the road. Like, I feel like this team is just very underrated at this point. And we keep talking about kind of the mold that you and I at least believe will get to a Super Bowl. We keep talking Rams, Bills, Niners. The teams that have kind of been there have been hanging around deep runs in the playoffs and just haven't really put it all together. Texans are kind of right there. I mean, they've made the playoffs, I think, every year of CJ Stroud's career, which I think that now is just his 3rd year, if I remember right. But they've won a playoff game, I believe, with CJ Stroud. Like, I don't know. I feel like the Texans are a little bit under talked about and just underrated coming in. Their defense is top in the league. Their offense has some questions, but yeah, I don't know. I just think I'm not high on Pittsburgh's defense whatsoever. Yeah, I don't have to talk about Pittsburgh. Everyone who's watched one NFL show this season knows my feelings on Pittsburgh. Um, and to be completely honest, I have not played on Pittsburgh at all this whole season. I've played against them multiple times. I just couldn't flip now and play on Pittsburgh and have them lose and say, why did I flip? Because I've been against them all season. So the only way I will play this game is on Houston. Probably won't even be a full unit. If I get there, it's going to be a small for action. Maybe, just for my own ego, just to say, hey, you know what? There's the Steelers last game. I was right. This team's not very good. Or they're going to win, and I'll have a chance next week. But that was kind of a ramble. I guess I'll leave it with I don't really know what to make of this game. I know you have a better read, so I'll send it to you. But I do think the Texans are the better team.
Yeah, I'm definitely agree with you. I do think the Texans are a better team. I'll start this game with 2 points. Like I said, had a really good weekend in the wild card, but ended my weekend of betting like 0 for 8 on straight bets. Maybe there's one like $5 parlay, but 0 for 7 on straight bets in that Chargers Patriots game. Just terrible read by me. Was right spot on for the other 4 games, and then just ended Sunday night on a bad streak. So my confidence is a little low. And then my second point will be how I think this game's going to go. I'm going to look for the total here, 38.5. I mean, it is a dead nuts under game. There's no way around it. Texans, fantastic defense. Texans offense, not spectacular. They do their job, but it's not like they're scoring 40 points a game. And then you have the Steelers who, defensive wise, not great, but then offense, they don't really do a whole lot. It seems like every Steelers game is between 10 and 24 points. It's not like they're also scoring at 30. So this is just a dead nuts under game, but I'm going to have to go against that. I think this is going to be somewhat of a fireworks, kind of a back and forth, higher scoring game. At least I hope. And that's going to ultimately factor into majority of my player props here. So I do lean the over. I know that is super square against the Sharps here. Sharps are all over the under, but I think it's going to be a little bit of a higher scoring game than we're predicting here. Also, the final two games on Sunday did go under after the first three went over. So we had the under in that Niners game. Thank God that one won. And then we did have the under, not even close, in that Chargers game. So maybe the public is seeing those last two games go under, seeing a game that is a dead nuts under game, and potentially taking that under as well. So starting off, I like the over here. I am going to side the Steelers here. Sharps on their predictions from what I've seen. Again, people interpret Sharp a little bit different, but from what I've seen in Sharps are 0 for 5 on spreads in the first 5 games of the wild card. Sharps were on the Rams on the spread. Sharps were on the Packers. Sharps were on Jags, Sharps were on Eagles, and then the Sharps were on the Chargers. So that's over 5 on spread bets for the Sharps on Wild Card Weekend. I am seeing the Sharps on the Steelers on this game, so I am going to say that the Sharps are not going to go undefeated. So I do like the Steelers at the +3, potentially sprinkle in that Steelers money line. But then I do have to quickly I'm going to wrap this up shortly. Do have to quickly get into these player props. It is, like I said, I think going to be a higher scoring game. I'm looking at passing yards, receiving yards, and obviously touchdowns here. And I'm going to go to my guy that got suspended at our team, Detroit, for 2 games of the final season. But DK in the playoffs, in his short playoff stint, has been phenomenal. He has not made the playoffs since 2022, but he has 5 touchdowns in 4 playoff games. 2 of those games, he's had 2 multi-touchdown games. His receiving yards are 136, 160, 96, and a 59 in his first ever playoff start. So I'm going to lean to DK. Also, I know the Texans have a really good defense. It seems like that's majority on the run defense. It seems like they've let a couple of the other team's star receivers get into the end zone as well as get some yards. So I do like DK to score. I have DK to score twice. And then I do have another bet here for another touchdown score for the Steelers. Like I said, I'm hoping it's kind of a higher scoring game. That's going to be MVS, Valdez Scantling for the Steelers to score a touchdown. It's like +850. I mean, Rodgers, I think we saw it. Well, he hasn't been in the playoffs in a while, but MVS is Rodgers' guy back in Green Bay in the early days for MVS. I know he's been at a bunch of teams, but seems like he is getting a lot of targets. Maybe that's because DK was out the last 2 games, but it seems like he's getting some targets. I could see him catching a slant in the end zone and that +850. I can't really disagree with that one. I have to jump on that. And then I do have, sorry, I'm going long here, two sprinkles on in case it is a shootout like I think it's going to be. I have DK Metcalf and Nico Collins to combine for 250 receiving yards as well as 300 receiving yards. I know that's kind of crazy. It's +1,400 and +30 or 3,000. So they're kind of out there on the bets, or maybe +4,000. I don't know. But like I said, I think it might be a little high scoring. The Steelers secondary is not good. They've let up a lot of passing yards to the other team's best wide receiver. I'm seeing a lot of people taking Nico. Obviously, it is the most public bet guy to score is Nico as well as receiving yards. So a little worried about that, but I could easily see Nico getting above 100 as well as DK getting above 100. And if they're both getting above 100, I might as well take them to get 250 and 300. So I know I just rambled there, a lot of bets, but keep it short here. I like the over. I like the Steelers on the spread, sprinkled the money line, and I'm big on DK Metcalf in this game. Sorry about rambling, but Ethan, do you have anything to add before we sign off here? I know you want to get into those NHL bets after the show.
Yeah, like I said, my gut tells me this is an over game as well. I just think when public's on the under, it's like when public's on an underdog. You kind of got to take notice. And same thing. I mean, I think, I'll disagree with your side, but I think Houston could kind of score at will against the Steelers defense. And then, Steelers offense is, I talk shit about them, but, they do have some playmakers. DK coming back is huge. And yeah, I definitely think DK could score. I'll throw one more out for you, and I know you're already a fan of this guy, but Connor Hayward, you can still get him at like 7-1 anytime. And yeah, he has 3 catches on the year. One of those was a touchdown though, but tush push touchdown 2 of the last 4 games at 7-1. Like, that's coming if they get down to the 1. Very likely that he'll score. I think that number should be closer to like 4-1. So I think you're getting really good value on Hayward. Also now with Darnell Washington out, if they do a heavy package in the red zone and it's not a tush push with him, he's likely in and, could get one of those very easy play action, wide open touchdowns. He does have only one touchdown this year receiving, but in his career, I know he's had multiple touchdowns
Yep.
receiving. So I just think 7-1 is really insane on Connor Hayward. I know you've hit big on him a few weeks ago, but yeah, I do like that. Also, I did kind of look in while you were talking to more NHL. Don't think the Kraken are going to make it. So I think I will pass on the 7 o'clock games. I'm passing on the 7 o'clock NBA, but uh, probably going to play the Texans. I might just do money line and then I'll tweet out any NBA and NHL.
Yeah, don't twist my arm for Connor Hayward. Hayward. He was one of my bigger bets of the year. I got him at 19-1 to score, $50 free bet to win. I think it was 900. So crazy win there. Should have just taken him first touchdown. I think he was like, I don't know, crazy money there. But yeah, he's a tush push guy. You never know. It's hard to predict if a team's going to get to a tush push, but one pass interference in the end zone, that's ultimately a tush push play. So I like that quite a bit. I don't have to twist my arm too much on a guy that I feel like I owe my Christmas to. So
You're playing on house money on Hayward.
yes,
And he's a
exactly.
Spartan dog. I mean, come on, you got to love
Yeah, I
that.
mean we could leave that one out, but yeah, same thing. I know they're not playing this week, but next week. AJ Barner, I know he's a great tight end receiving wise for Seattle. He is also their tush push guy. So you just have to kind of see these, who's tush pushing. Obviously, without the tush push, he's a good touchdown scorer. But then you add into that tush push potential, and it's a decent bet. Obviously, his odds are much higher, or much worse than obviously Connor Hayward without the receiving capabilities. But I like it quite a bit. But I appreciate you guys, Ethan. Good luck tonight. I know we might be disagree on the sides, but hopefully we can hit some props and hopefully have a good matchup for divisional round where me and Ethan are still very much alive in a couple of futures. We had a really good future wise round of the Wildcard Weekend, so hopefully that can continue. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hopping on. Like I said, we do have a bunch of videos posted over on our YouTube page where we break down daily NBA, NHL, college basketball, and NFL. College football national championship coming up. We have MMA, we have soccer. We cover it all over here at Better and Green. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you guys give us a subscription over on our YouTube video page. We greatly appreciate it. But until then, guys, good luck tonight. Enjoy the final game of Wildcard Weekend, and we'll see you next time.